All right, we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. Let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clearly. It is Christmas Eve in the States right now, and we are doing a no cam show tonight. I know some of you guys, feeling yourself off the egg, not feeling yourself, pause, but you know what I mean, off the eggnog and the Baileys during the holiday season. But we're gonna chop it up, man. We're gonna chop it up. I know I really want to do an open panel, no cam show. I know a lot of guys, sometimes don't like to cam up and they might be more comfortable not camming up. So we're gonna talk about this, man. We're gonna definitely talk about what's going on. I did a couple of shows. I was the original content creator or the first content creator that broke the story with Sicko Floyd out there in Brazil. What up, Esme MIA? Of course, there's a lot of, other content creators and even, major feminist ran media outlets, bashing or trying to tie in some way the Passport Bros ideology to this one man's, crime, basically. All right. And I'm going to play a video, too. Let me load this video real quick. I'm going to play a video when we get a few more people in the room. With him basically, of course, denouncing that he is not a passport bro. Okay. Hold on. I don't want to play that just yet. Okay. Before that. All right. Yeah, I don't want to play that just yet. But we will play that shortly, that video shortly. And I know it doesn't really matter that he said that he is not a passport bro, because it doesn't matter. It's in that terminology right now. At this point, they have over misapplied the term so much. They have defamed it so much and lied and, what's the word I want to use? They've done so much that now it's just not hidden like it used to. It's been so watered down by media outlets and haters of the term that a lot of these content creators that are tying the Passport Bros with this heinous act of this one guy who said repeatedly that he wasn't a passport bro, they're not getting the clicks and the traction like they thought they would off this. Of course, you're going to have some of the bigger channels that this is a breaking story. So, of course, they're going to do their views. But for the most part, I'm looking at a lot of smaller creators, a lot of kind of nothing burger channels, that don't have any traction, trying to cover the story and trying to tie Passport Bros. And if you've even noticed, I want to give a shout out to all the real content creators, all the, shout out to DC Born Rob, Razor Rays, Andre Love Crossing Borders and stuff like that. Shout out to the real content creators who are reporting the heinous act, right? Highlighting, how horrific these alleged crimes are that this clown Sicko Floyd did, and not trying to tie it into the Passport Bros for clicks and views, because in general, that's what most of these people are doing. They're not even worried about the issue, all right, the actual crime that happened. They're more worried about getting clicks and views, all right? Said, are they deflecting from the real international generational cult members? When they, I don't know if it's white people or YouTube people, is isolated incidents. When they are black men, we are grouped up in one circle. And I'll bring you on in a minute too, Ronan, if you want to come on. Like I said, this is a no cam show. Like I said before, I know it's Christmas Eve and most of you guys laid back, chilling, relaxing with the family. They don't really, Thais don't celebrate Christmas. So, even though it's like a lot of Christmas decorations going around and everything like that, it's like almost a regular day in Thailand for the most part. All right. And I know some of you guys working overtime. Shout out to some of my truckers out there. I know y'all getting it late. They paying them truckers and police officers and, delivery men extra during the holidays, So shout out to all my guys getting it on the road, getting it at the job, making that extra money as well. So shout out to you guys as well, man. All right. But like I said before, family, like for the most part, for the most part, as I'm looking at all these content creators that are trying to, get some form of momentum. What's the other guy named LLHTV, LL or Lame-O TV, whatever crackhead type of show he be doing? Of course, he's going to tie into Passport Bros, on this as well. These guys don't travel. You got a couple of African brothers out there trying to tie the Passport Bros, and even media outlets, like I say, feminist, media outlets, because for the most part, a lot of these blogs and articles and so-called news outlets that are super uncomfortable with guys traveling, they're going to tie the Passport Bros in this. And the media does that. Let's be honest. That's what the media does. All right. They got to tie it into something bigger so they can villainize it to make it more larger than what it is. When in actuality, it's an individual, all right, that already said before that he doesn't consider himself a passport bro. I will play the video momentarily once we get a few more people in the room. All right. And despite him saying that, of course, people are still going to tie him into this so-called, nefarious criminal network, as some people would try to claim it to be, when we know it's not that. All right. It's at this point, it's just in that terminology at this point. It's a wild goose chase at this point. All right. Somebody said we are not a monolith. Let me see if I can pull up some of these comments. Is it okay? Yeah, okay. So it's not blocking the comments. All right. The thing is that somewhat saving the term Passport Bros is search engines online. What up, Kenny Peoples? What's good? What's good? And I want your guys' opinions on this. We got 300 in the room. Man, what y'all doing on Christmas Eve, man? What are y'all doing this Christmas Eve? Okay. Like I said, I know some of my guys out there still getting it, especially my guys with no kids and everything like that. I don't know why I keep getting hit with these damn bots, man. Allegedly, it's some type of hater that's going around on Passport Bros channels hitting them with bots. So I don't know. Somebody said, I love No Camera Up. Yeah, we're going to do some audience participation. I know guys want to chop. I used to do no cam shows back in the day a lot. You know what I'm saying? But now, like I said, I be wanting to kind of, show you guys where I'm at, show my face and all that good stuff. What up, Data CPA? You say you working? My brother said he working right now. All right. I believe we got about 100 and some change in the room. Guys, don't pay attention to the bots. They're going to go away in a minute. Let me pull up this video. Let me remove this. Hold on. I'll put this back up momentarily. Let me remove this real quick. All right. Let me play this video.
Who's in the build?
Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and play this video real quick for the family. Here it is. And like I said before, it's several videos with Floyd denouncing the Passport Bros. Now, this was in Thailand when he arrived to Thailand. If some of you guys don't know, a couple of years ago, I want to say almost 2 years ago, when Austin, left Brazil for the situation that he was in, either Floyd came before or right after. And when Austin denounced himself from the Passport Bros, so he made a whole video saying, hey, I just want to be an individual. I don't want to tie myself and be responsible for, a whole movement or ideology or whatnot. Of course, Floyd did the same thing. And here's the proof.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. Look who's in the building. Y'all boy.
Mr. Passport Bro.
Exactly. Coming soon to the interview, man. We're going to talk to this man. He said he's no longer a Passport Bro. That's what he just told me.
The definition that people are saying about Passport Bros, I'm not with all that. I'm for men finding relationships outside of the country and to find something better. That's what I'm about. Okay. I'm not with the slinging different women, recording them in their room, in the hotel room. I'm not with all that. So
okay. That's what we want here to make clear, because they gave this man a bad name. You know what I'm saying? So we just want to get it straight, man, and get it done. Now, he asked me if I know him. I told him, not personally, but I know of this nigga. So we're going to get it straight, man. We're going to do the interview. We're going to get it done, and that's it. Church, time I can preach.
All right, that's the weirdo dude, But somebody said, and I just dropped a link in the chat, guys. If you want to pull up, you're welcome to pull up. Like I said, no cam show. We in here. Somebody said the Daily Mail article just picked up the stories BMT. Yeah, somebody sent me the Daily Mail basically. And once again, let me tell you guys something, because a lot of my guys, a lot of us are older, and we assume that, these struggling media outlets like the Daily Mail or, some of these other outlets, that they're just this massively ran, powerful outlets that, it is 2025. Ain't nobody paying that shit no attention like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even some of the bigger channels, like some of the smaller off-brand networks at Fox. Man, nobody paying. Everybody's on social media right now. Everybody's on TikTok for the most part, Instagram. If it ain't some normal person reporting the news now, a lot of people are not even going to hear of it, bro. So these little feminist leaning, Vlog, Vice, Daily Network, Mail, they're all female, feminist ran. Come on, bro. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. We know exactly why the media has this smear campaign on the Passport Bros. It's because a lot of women are uncomfortable with it, and a lot of women work for these outlets. You think a guy wrote that article? You know what I'm saying? You think a heterosexual male wrote that article? And it's defamation. It's 100% defamation. What these media outlets do is they try to go for clicks and views, and then they'll get some type of cease and desist letter from a company or whatnot, and they'll retract it in a little bottom level corner of the next article. Hey, we got our retractions. Yeah, Ashley Passport Bros isn't a criminal network. All right, it's an internet terminology, such and such and such. That's how that works right now. So they will print a retraction. 9 times out of 10, you won't see it, because it's a wild goose chase. There is no criminal organization, network, or anything. That dude, Floyd Wallace, was moving on his own. He was not doing any content, any even travel style content for months. All right, for months. Yeah, somebody said, now we all know what Tanya TK is. That's fake news as well. We know Tanya TKO. That's to be expected. Like I say, clicks and views for the Passport Bros. And some creators, it's not even worth going after. Some of them, it's not even worth going after. All right. You already know how she feels about the Passport Bros. She hates black men in general. She hates black men in general. Let me show you some of these comments, man. All right, let me drop a link. I know some of you guys are busy. Like I said, I know some of you brothers out there getting that extra, that extra change, so y'all can buy y'all girls some Christmas gifts. You know what I'm saying? All right. Shout out to the Passport OG. Shout out to the Passport OG, man. Shout out to you, bro. You do good content, brother. Out there in Japan. Appreciate that. He said, your work is much appreciated, BMT. Happy holidays, sir. Happy holidays to you, bro. Your work is appreciated as well. I love your content, my man. Love your content. And also appreciate the super chat again, once again. The same thing. Appreciate that, Passport Bro OG. And like I said, hold on, guys, listen, I'm going to drop a link, man. You're welcome to pull up. I want to know your guys' opinions, whether it be you agree, whether you disagree. Let's have a dialogue on this Christmas evening. Let's have some dialogue, family. Let's talk about this like men. All right? Let's talk about this like men. Somebody said salute to the chat. So who be boosting views? I don't be boosting views. These are just bots. They be hitting the live channels recently. Shout out to my man Dre the Kid in the building. Says a European was arrested for the same thing many days ago. No Passport Bro reference, seems like, because he was white. I mean, they reference some of the white guys as Passport Bros. We know white guys rep, some rep the Passport Bros ideology as well. But yeah, that is true. I did see their article. All right. I did see their article. Shout out to my man Dre the Kid. Yeah. This defamation by far is 100% defamation, bro. They know it. And these media outlets 100% know exactly what they're doing. All right, they know there ain't no group of men stupid enough to do with a popular term like Passport Bros doing no dumb ish like that. They know that. They know that. It's a wild goose chase. It's for, like I say, these are a lot of struggling media outlets. We assume that it's this big mega journal with a big building downtown. Man, these people be publishing applications in 1-bedroom apartments, bruh. You know, it's 2025. Ain't nobody paying for information no more. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now, as far as bloggers is concerned, where they getting their money from? They get their money from the little bullshit banner ads and stuff. They have totally lost a lot of their power now, bro. Right? You got influencers that got more of a network than a bullshit ass blog does. Fuck the Daily Mail. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them. A little off-brand ass, UK ass reporting that bullshit. Fuck them. They ain't got no power no more. It's 2025. We ain't running from them. All right, let me bring on Passport Bros OG and Kenny Jones. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing tonight?
Salute, sirs. Happy holidays.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Happy holidays, man. So I'll start off with you, OG, man. What you think about all this, what's going on right now, brother?
Hey, man, listen,
what's your opinion on this?
Listen. If Candace Owens covers it, then it's a big story, okay? Like, look at what I mean. If you want to see like how important it is, look at how many clicks people are getting off of it. Because if people ain't clicking on it, it doesn't matter. So if Candace Owens covers it and she gets like 500,000 views, it's a story. Until then, it's a non-story. It's a non-start. It's just a little somebody went down there, went somewhere, did something stupid, allegedly, and something happened.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you. All right, go ahead, Passport OG.
Okay. So I was just going to say that until like some of the big YouTubers cover it, it's a non-story, man.
Right.
I mean, if like I said, if like Candace Owens or like what's his name, Joe Rogan, if they cover it, then it's a big story. But I mean, Vice, come on, man. Vice is struggling for air. Come on.
Yeah. So are these little off-brand. I'm not even gonna call them off-brand, Daily Mail and everything like that. But come on, man, that's what they do is little hit pieces and stuff like that. Like,
traditional media is struggling more than ever before. The jokers are struggling, man.
100%. I mean,
New York Times is begging us.
Now.
Yeah, New York Times. Every time I try and open up the app, is begging me to subscribe to something. So you know, traditional media is struggling, man.
Exactly. Kenny Jones, what did you want to say on this, brother? You got your audio together now? Okay, Kenny Jones is still music. Yeah, I guess you call it legacy media.
Oh yeah, for sure. Legacy media is struggling, for sure. So I mean, if someone sees this and thinks it's a story worth getting some views over, someone's going to pick it up. But until I see like a big time YouTuber, because I mean, Anton is kind of a big time YouTuber, but he doesn't cover the kind of stuff that his audience is Fox News people. So they don't care about this. I mean, they care a little bit about it, but them redacted files from the E files, people care about that. So which one's going to get the biggest story, that or the E files today? I think it's going to be. I think they're going to care about the redactions or the. I mean, that story is crazy. They didn't even do the redactions right. But anyways, I mean, they ain't nobody worried about Floyd. I mean, some people are, but the people that worry about Floyd are the ones worried about black men. Pretty much.
And Anton, man, like I said, he rides the fence. He has a largely black female audience as well. So he'll throw us on the bus here and there. And then the next month he'll do a video or interview on my show, or Andre Love Crossing Borders talking about how he understands the Passport Bros. It's all a game. But the thing about it is, when it comes to YouTube and content creation, is agitation first to get the attention. And then it's like, I learned this now. Like, okay, now I'm understanding. That's a way to generate, content and clicks and views. Like I said before, I got him on video recorded talking about, in a positive note, about the Passport Bros a couple of years ago. I went on his show.
Sure did.
So yeah, man, it is what it is. But it's like I said, it's not major news. What the guy is accused of doing is horrific. I don't want to take away at all from the crime that he's accused of. It is, it's bad. It is bad, but it doesn't detract from the positive guys that are traveling the world the right way, like 100% of the passport bros. Because like I said before, he said he wasn't a passport bro.
Man,
so
listen,
it is what it is. If he say he's not a passport, he's not a passport bro.
Listen, man, I don't know how much outrage you can have over him when you got the doggone e-files.
Exactly.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, damn.
Exactly.
I mean, if it wasn't at the same time, I could get it. But like, come on, man. I mean, this is some craziness, boy. So I mean, if you care about one, you got to care about both. So,
exactly.
So care about both.
And people are still going to travel to Brazil, bro. Brazil is a beautiful country. It's a beautiful culture out there. I lived in Brazil for close to a year. I was welcomed by the guys in the favela and everything like that, man. Shout out to my man Hobson, everybody out there in Rio. I feel like when I go to Rio, I can tap in with family. And like I said, this is a horrendous event, but at the same time, it's not going to stop anybody from traveling to the beautiful, country of Brazil, bro, because of this one individual actions.
Well, you also have to remember how huge a business tourism is. You can't, I mean, there are so many companies that are linked to tourism, from food carts to like hospitality, hotels, taxis. Like if you have a blip in your tourism industry, it affects a lot of people. Countries know that. They know that. They're going to take care of the one dude and then we'll keep it moving.
Facts. I want to welcome in Tuna Runner to the show. You there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here in Medellin,
No,
Colombia,
Lord,
right now.
Don't tell us what you're eating. Don't do it.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on this?
Oh man, like say, brothers are. He's one brother who was kind of messing up from the get go, and some of these brothers just ain't got it, and they don't need to be out here in the travel spaces because they're not really doing it like they like respectable men should be doing. So they're going to definitely have problems, and he just seems like when you're out there, you can't travel without no money. That's just the bottom line. And when you're trying to, you're going to get yourself in situations that you can't get out of because you don't have the money to be a responsible black man. You got to be responsible when you're leaving out of the country, and you got to take care of yourself. And if you're begging for money, you're going to be able to put yourself in bad situations. So I mean, he just got to, he's just, he like say it's only bad this right now because he's a black man. Like I say, the majority of people who are doing stuff like that, it's like 70% of them are not are not our race. We don't do this stuff really. The numbers say it's the other ones that do.
And that's why it's hitting so hard, because we don't do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not really our MO for the most part. Right. Of course, we got some weirdos out there. That's in every race, every ethnic group. But, it just seems like it hits harder for us, especially when it's one of, a black dude, basically.
Yeah. It's like, the mass shooters, mostly it's not us. So when one of us does it, everybody looks at it like, wow, this guy did it. But that's just the numbers say it's not us.
I want to ask Passport Bro OG this, man. What do you think the outcome of the Passport Bro terminology would be overall? Right? Do you think it would just silently go away, or do you think that it's here to stay as a legitimate term? I mean, it is in the dictionary, everything, but what do you think?
Oh man, listen. You I rock with BGS, so BGS speaks of it as a bigger problem, right? This is a problem that's happening in all of the developed countries. I was just watching a video about Korea. Like, a lot of the dudes are saying, like, listen, I don't want no kind of agreement with the state. I'm just go out here, get these chicks for tonight. I'm gonna go take my behind back home and then do my thing. Like, this is all. Japan's got passport bros. Korea's got passport bros. China's got passport bros. This is a new phenomenon across the planet. Like, if in a developed economy, women get better jobs and they have higher standards, and you have that contract with the state. So do you want that, or do you want to go somewhere where you can find a young lady who's going to be happy that she just gets to be in your vicinity? That's happening all over the world, B. I mean, that's everywhere. So I think, if anything, we're just the first people to put a name on, or I shouldn't say we, but guys in this space are the guys putting a label to it that people can refer to it. Because I guarantee you, you wait 5-10 years, you're going to start hearing Passportbros in Japan. Guarantee it.
Oh, you already do. You already do. You know,
They're
you
going
already
to
got
be in
guys from
Japanese talking about,
countries.
hey man, I am a Passportbro like you. Like, it's coming.
You know what? You know what was surprising to me, man, when I had met some guys from, I think it was in Somalia. It was either Somalia or Ethiopia, and I met them out here in Thailand, and they were saying like, "Yeah, we passport bros too." I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, "Why y'all passport bros?" He was like, "Man, they too controlling. They try to run everything, and they don't do this, they don't do that." And so we out here like we passport bros too. I said, "Oh shit, okay."
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's inevitable, dude. If a woman is living in a country where she can get Uber Eats, she has a smartphone, she can call, a taxi and all this stuff, and she could basically live a life without a man, then the man she's going to require is going to have all these growing number of tick boxes. And so we're just like several steps ahead of guys in other countries going through the same thing. That's it. That's it. So, I mean, this is just
all the
flights
flights are full. Coming to Medellin. Brothers are on the flights, some with their wives, some with their girlfriends, some of them solo. All the flights were full these last couple of days. So, guys are still traveling, and they're getting through, and they're here having a good time.
Hey, Tunnel Runner, are the flights from Medellin back to America full of men from Colombia going to get American women? Is my question.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
Okay, all right, just checking.
Yeah. But like I was telling some brothers today, I've had 3 different women cooking for me today. Had my wife, had her sister cooking for me, her grandmother cooking for me. So it's just a good time.
I know you guys are seeing the bots. Those are bots, family. They've been hitting me lately. They've been hitting a lot of channels lately. Don't worry, it'll clear up soon. But those are bots.
Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, this is like the first time in, ADO's history that really we're able to make a decision that our counterparts have really no control over, right?
Oh man, speak on it, brother. I'm glad you said that because I was going to make a video about that. Like this right here was not co-signed by the matriarchy, the black matriarchy, or the white male patriarchy. This wasn't co-signed by it. You know what I'm saying? So,
and it's undeniable. The contract, when you make that contract with the state, what comes with it is undeniable. Like she is the ward of the state, and it's your job to provide for her until that contract is over, or maybe into perpetuity. So that being the case, you enter that contract with a woman in America, we have seen how that plays out. It is not pretty.
With a bunch of these, in that contract, you're supposed to get a wife, that's supposed to be either a virgin, you're supposed to be getting somebody who's going to cook and clean and give you sex anytime you want. That was the deal supposed to be, but we getting a raw deal because most of these women in the States don't want to do that. They don't want to live up to their part of the bargain, but they want you to live up to the part of your bargain,
Well, they know that this state is an actor on their behalf. So that means that they can sign up for the old agreement and then do what they feel like. And the man's stuck paying for the bag. So it's only natural. Get on an airplane, go somewhere else.
Right. And you see a lot of countries, like I believe Kenya had did something about the divorce laws. I believe China just did something about divorce laws. And that's because men are starting to opt out. Like men just saying, hey, I'm not gonna, this is a bad contract. I'm not gonna fall for it. You know what I'm saying? Men marry for love, women marry for business for the most part. So yeah, man, it's like you know what? I see possibly it's a possibility that laws might be changing in some Western countries soon as well. All right. You
Well, they're
never
gonna have
know.
to do
Like
something. They
it's
got
a
to do something.
possibility, but especially with Trump in office, the type of president that he is, because when guys don't want to get married, when guys don't want to start their families and everything, when they're opting out, that's a huge problem for the economy, right? That's a lot of stores going to be closing, wedding stores, all types of stuff is tied to a man starting a family for the most part. And when they opt out of that, that could be an issue. You know what I'm saying? Less people joining the militaries and everything like that. Less people going into work, pay down debts, credit. I mean, it's a big issue. Negative birth rates, all that type of stuff. So eventually they're going to have to say, hey, you know what? We're going to have to acknowledge that this is a problem. We're going to have to change some of these laws.
Yeah, because
Oh,
men overproduce when they get married. They
that's right.
overproduce. They take
That's
the
exactly
woman's
right.
debt. They get children, and they go to work, and they don't stop working. But if they're
Right.
not getting married, they're gonna be, they're relaxing. They're enjoying
They're
their
going to be single. Yeah,
their
they're going
PlayStation.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. You got guys that's not unmotivated, not even leave the house no more. You got dudes that's growing up on OnlyFans and social media who not even trying to date no more. Like it's crazy out here, man.
Well,
It's
and
crazy
you
out here.
got these chicks out here that are celebrating the birth rate going, the declining birth rate, and they're championing the idea that men overproduce when they have a family. It's like, of course you do. You got a little kid walking around. Of course you're going to overproduce. Like that second job, you're going to take that second job if you're tired when you don't have a kid. You don't have to. So
Mm-hmm.
so you need some adults to say, hey, listen, man, y'all need to have some kids and motivate these dudes to work. Otherwise, we ain't gonna have no society.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they just come out? I know Elon Musk just tweeted a report about Europe and a negative birth rate, and I know Japan has went to the point of no return as well.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you out there in Japan, Passportbros
Of
OG?
course. I've been here for 20 some odd years. Yeah, man.
Is that like kind of being played in the media there?
Oh, it's every single year, dude. They talk about how many less births there was than last year, how many elementary schools are getting closed.
Mm-hmm.
So I live in a relatively big city in the southern or the southwestern Japan. So it's not really a problem in the city, but once you go out into like the rural areas, they're shutting down schools left and right, bro. Shutting them down. It's a problem. It's a major problem.
Wow.
A Japanese woman walking out
is it
here.
because of the working? I saw a documentary, so it's basically because everybody works too much and the women work too much to date now.
I mean, I think Japan's got the same problem as Korea. Life is much more expensive, and your company wants you at work. So if you're working 5-6 days a week, that means that you're not helping with the child rearing. And if you have two parents, that means you're basically dumping your kids in childcare. So, I mean, how many people want to do that? You want to work? I mean, most women, I would imagine, want to work if necessary, but they also want someone that's going to help them raise the kid. But how many people can afford to live on one salary in modern times? So you get a lot of women saying, well, I'll just treat my dog as my pet. My dog is my kid. So Japan is trying to do some workarounds, but it's a legit problem.
Man, how do you go about fixing that? Like, how do you force the younger generation to, have? Because I know a lot of cases, man. Them guys, these younger guys, they be playing their video games. They be subscribed to certain girls. Like they don't even. These young guys, they didn't come up like us, man. They don't, cold approach or, get their little holler on. Like things is different now. Even the I don't know about Japan, but even the music is different now. Like the music kind of, as far as the black community, they kind of held this group together early on with R&B and all that stuff like that. You don't even see that anymore.
Well, I would venture to wager that most of us Gen Xers, or at least older millennials, we've been to the country. We've been to see our grandmother, great grandmother, so we have a little bit of a connection. But like, we live in cities, dude. Like, we live in a city. Like, you marry a woman, and she walks by 200 options of other men every single day. Every single day. That's never happened before in the history of humanity on this scale. You marry a woman, and you have kids, and she's walking by all of these different men, and one of those men might say, "Oh, baby, you look good today," and then for some women it might be 10, it might be 20, it might be 100. Then she opens up her cell phone, and then multiply that times 1,000. And that, how do you build a family in that? How do you do that? Like, we're trying to figure that out right now. Mm-hmm. So that's $1 million question. You live in Tokyo? I mean, man, Tokyo, man. Listen, you've been to Tokyo, right? You've been to a kabuki show? Man,
no,
listen,
I haven't.
Listen, no. Man, you can find anything you want in there, man.
Hmm.
You can find any little piece of something you want in kabuki show. I'm talking about a couple $100. Anything you want. So you walking around past that every day on your way home from work? People gonna make decisions.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's really on the women. The women have to change their mindset because you go to a college campus, ask these women, do they want to get married? They'll tell you no. They ain't trying to get married. They thinking about career and everything else. Marriage is on the bottom of the list. And so, I mean, with that kind of attitude, you know, is and then like say with the laws, until the laws change and the women's attitude change, it's just going to be trouble. That's
Mm-hmm.
it's just no way around it.
Now, let me ask y'all this, man. This is going to be, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. How much is this a reflection on the men, though? Meaning the fathers, the families. How much is a reflection on them?
I mean, I think it's a tough question because if we were raising and educating our kids, then it would be a different answer. But the school's doing it. So you could be what's his name? Who's Williams' sister's dad? What's his name?
I forgot. I know you're talking about. I forgot his name though.
King Richard.
King Richard. Yeah, dude, hardcore dude, right? Both of his daughters married white men. How'd that happen? That has more to do with who they went to school with than him being dad, right? So that's the way kids are socialized is much more on the environment they're socialized in than the father. The father can do some of it. He can say, I want to make sure you get married before you have babies, that kind of stuff. But like the people that she's raised around, or kids are raised around, or the environment they're going to school in, that's what they're going to grow up and be. That has much more to do with the country and what they're doing in the school system than it does on the families.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you got parents working.
In the black community, a lot of these women get divorced from their fathers, and so the men can't raise the children correctly because you want to be in a marriage, a committed marriage. That's how you show the kids, because kids do what they see. And when they see that you don't have to be married, you don't have to stay with your husband, and you got all these options, it just creates a bad atmosphere. So they're not even growing up with the father. A lot of them, all the father is separated.
Okay, so you're saying basically a lot of the fathers don't get a chance to even raise their kids because of the system.
No, they don't. When that woman knows she can yank that kid away from you and the state will provide resources, what kind of authority does a man have when men 9 times out of 10 are going to lose in family court, or at best they're going to get dual custody?
Somebody said blaming the schools for not taking the time out to educate your own kids.
I didn't say educate. I said socialize. Education is that's different than socialize. Socialization is, here's an example about socialization, right? In China, they remove all mention of religion in schools. There's no mention of religion. You can't mention Christmas, nothing, right? So if you raise your kid to be a Christian at home and they go to school, they're not going to be a Christian outside of your house. Like, that's different from like knowing how to your multiplication tables, because they don't play about that nature. But like the education part, that's what it is. But like, you raise your kids to use him, her, his, him pronouns at home, and then they go to school and they're saying their, zim, whatever they're using now. Which pronouns they're going to use when they leave your house? A lot of that's on the state.
Hmm. I don't know. I don't know if this can be beat. This can be fixed, man. I don't know. They gotta change some laws. You know.
Well, I mean, they're going to have to get a group of women voters to say our society's falling apart. We got to move differently, because I mean, we know with young women voters, they're going to vote for the state to give them more stuff and for them to have more freedom, and have men funded. They're going to continue voting for that, and they'll have more women voters than men. The question is, when do you get enough women voters to say, "Hey, listen, our society's falling apart. We got to do more than just letting these chicks, run down the Planned Parenthood every time they want to and jump out of these marriages because they feel like it." Like,
what's crazy, man? I was talking to an Australian guy. I should have interviewed him, but we're just having such a good conversation. And in actualities, like their laws is even worse than the American laws when it concerns of marriage. Like they got some crazy shit in Australia going on.
Well, the Western liberal democracies are dealing with this women voter issue because women and men don't vote for the same things, right? Especially when you as a woman understand that when you vote for the Ukraine war, you're never going to go. Like, it's going to be somebody else that's going. You're just saying, "Oh, poor people over there, da da da." But when men are voting, I mean, you go back to ancient Greece. When that man put that stone in that pot, he knew that vote came with, when the state calls me to pick up a sword, I got to go. So what happens when you're voting and you know that that's not connected to your decision making? So it's just we're dealing with a whole bunch of new things when you have liberal democracy in cities with people that are not tethered to families. How do you do that? We're still trying to figure that out. We're still figuring it out. Because a young woman out of college that's got $100,000 job, she doesn't need a man. So she's going to vote like she doesn't need a man. She needs protection, but she expects the state to protect her.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do with a voter like that when she gets into, to higher office and she's saying, "I think my job is to protect people like myself," when there's a very small group of women that are making six figures, that aren't married, that can travel the world and do whatever they want to and pull their Ebony K. Williams and have a family without a man. She's gonna try and make that the case for more and more women, which pulls your society apart, does it not? So how do you deal with that? That's how we got Trump. Put it that way. That's how we got Trump.
Okay, I want to welcome my man Ronan to the show. What's going on, Ronan?
Hey, what's going on, man? I went for a walk, so I don't know what I left out, where I left at, and where you guys are at. But the brother was making a good point about being tethered to families. United States FBI and J. Edgar Hoover did a great job at breaking down one of the strongest nuclear over that period of time. Thank you, sir. From 56 until now, you can see the end result. It's horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
They were successful.
Right. I want to straight back the topic a little bit. I wanted to get your opinion on it. I know you did a show on this, Ronan, but what's your thoughts about all this shit that's going on in Brazil with Floyd?
I found some other videos. I played it on a different show too, and it's been kind of looking us in the face, and we kind of been turning a blind eye to his behavior. But I know every time somebody has had him on a panel that has some common sense, we usually were trying to steer the brother in the right way. Now, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. We've warned him and warned him and warned him about his behaviors and about some of the things he was doing. See, I
didn't have any indication of that because, first of all, he hadn't been doing content in a while, but I just thought he was just a weirdo.
Right. I found a video about a year ago where there was a questionable young lady that he was highlighted on a date. And I played it on a different show the other night. And it's without question, this young lady could have been no more than 13, maybe 14 or 15 at the best. So there's been signs. We just haven't been paying attention to them. But again, we're not close to him. Only thing we can do is pull him up on a panel when we get him or do an interview with him. Say, "Look, bro, when are you going to change the way you're moving?" You know, but again, once he got out of jail, I guess he had enough money in his bank account where he jumped on a plane, went right down to Brazil and started doing whatever he was doing until he got caught. You know, but yeah, I feel like there's enough evidence that they pulled not only in the room, but some of the things I've seen, because they do have their cyber crimes unit from Brazil on this whole situation. So it's not just physical evidence, there's cyber information that's been pulled down on this man. You know, so then when you have that amount of evidence building up, my only thing is, if there was 4 victims and warrants drawn to obtain Floyd, why was he the only one pulled in front of the camera? Usually when you execute a warrant, you execute it simultaneously for all the ones that are involved, because you don't want nobody being tipped off. So why weren't the other
you think the other 3 were Brazilians?
I think they were locals.
Because anybody that knows about the whole scene of favela, you know, I used to hang out there as well. Shout out to my man Hobson. That it's like, it's pretty governed with an iron fist. No, nothing go down out there unless, you know what I'm saying, somebody's, you know, got it cleared at some point. So yeah, it's I don't know, man. Yeah.
So it's a, like I said, and I've been speaking to this, and you know that, BMT, on every live and every pen I've ever sat in. You know, to be silent is to be complicit. You know, and it's taken us Gen X guys and some of us older travelers to say, look, man, you guys, I don't care what you're doing. Yeah, you want to go and soldier wild oats and all this other stuff, but there's a proper way to move where you do no harm. I mean, most military guys were to go and find a place and leave it better than you found it. That way you leave that positive reputation behind you. A lot of these guys are leaving chaos. A lot of these guys are leaving chaos in their wake. They're not leaving it better. They're leaving bad reputations behind. And that takes so much longer to clean up than what we were doing when we've been traveling as older guys. And you guys can say that's listening, we're haters. But no, we did all the footwork to lay the groundwork for y'all to do what you're doing. And now within a matter of a couple years, you've torn it up. And it's getting to a point where they're actually passing physical laws. And I'm not just talking blacks. I mean, you look at Vitali in Philippines, where they actually have a law now where you can't film random people without permission. You got to blur out the whole fucking background. You know, Thailand's looking at different laws. You got Colombia that's locking down on filming. You know, you got DR, same thing. You know, so you can't say you're not doing damage when countries and cities are taking notice. Brothers, when they were traveling in the military, didn't do that shit. Brothers that were put on by brothers that were traveling in the military that started traveling, Charles Tyler and whoever, they were put on by military guys and said, look, go down there, do what you're going to do, but keep that shit low key. Don't share with everybody who's going to go down and fuck that shit up, and leave it better than you found it. Don't leave a bad reputation in those people's mouths. Respect them. And that's the word that's not being used in a lot of this shit. They have no respect for those people.
That's very correct. If you want to show respect, one of the best things you could do is have a workable knowledge of the language to where you could be respectful to the people you meet and be able to say some basic something. You bumping into the police and you can't even say pleasantries. Like, come on, man. That's like a blatant disrespect. Like, I don't even care to learn even basic words in your language.
100% correct. I got a super chat here by El Orgulo de Jalisco 2. $10 super chat, man. I appreciate that. He says, I've heard rumors that Jay Rello is involved in this Transport Bros schemes. I haven't heard anything like that, brother. Austin Holloman keeps taking L's when it comes to Brazil. Black Passport Bros taking L's. All right, appreciate the super chat.
Only the black ones? Sure about that?
Yeah. Like I said, it was a white guy that got caught up doing this some minor shit in Medellin the same exact day.
Mm-hmm.
There was this a white traveler just got kicked out of Thailand just yesterday. But again, I mean, we live in a bubble. And the reason we live in the bubble that we live in is because there's so few of us that actually travel.
That's facts, man. And I can tell you this for sure, because when I look at the posts within the Facebook group, it's just memes. Most of these cats not traveling, bro. Like 90% of them don't travel. And if they do travel, they travel temporarily for a weekend here and there.
Right. But yeah, you're looking at 12% of the population in the U.S. Then you're looking at an even smaller percentage of Black women and men that have passports, and then even a smaller percentage that have already traveled or established expats, maybe even doing business in countries. And you only got a few YouTubers out there that are blowing up every site and every scene to where it only looks like we're out for one thing. When brothers are doing great business and reinforcing communities and everything else for years.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. And rest of power to Charles Tyler. It's a couple of cats too that kind of guided me within the, this travel space, basically. Shout out to the Black Man's Option, everything. They kind of gave me guidance, leadership, a rundown of how to move, what to do, what not to do, where not to go. And now, because of the internet, because these content creators, TikTok, just and all that, you just got guys just pulling up, man, with no type of regard for anything. Like, they just pulling up, and like you said before, they just doing whatever. I see it all the time.
But even the guys that you said mentored you, they had exposure by somebody mentoring them. Now nobody wants to take no ride.
You know what, Ronan? Those days is pretty much over with now, bro. You know how we all, I would say, of course you're a little older than me, but we all 80s, early 90s. Like, we had a way of having some type of guidance, whether it be our football coaches, whether you guys in the military, dads were still present. You know what I'm saying? Like, nowadays, man, it's none of that, bro. Like, it's just dudes coming from broken homes. They don't know they left from right, bro. They trying to find their way. There we go. Now the bots is left, family. The bots are gone. But we still got a lot of people in the chat, man. 281 guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So I heard you guys talking earlier about what can we do, and one of the brothers touched on it. It's going to take females to change the mentality, and feminism and the boss.
It's going to take females. The females to change their mentality. That what you mean?
Yeah, change their mentality. A brother can't tell a female to shit. Excuse my French.
Ronan, like I said before, I just want to play devil's advocate a bit, brother. Like, why? How is this not a reflection on us as men? If these is in some cases our daughters, our nieces, even our granddaughters, how is that not a reflection on us?
I get it, but a brother has to have access to his children to raise them. Now, if you want to break that down, we can break that down. A lot of women
that's what Passport OG did. He said, Passport OG did say that. A lot of
women use their kids as weapons. They have weaponized fatherhood to a point where some women have gotten pregnant on a one-night stand and kept the child to control a man they don't even know. Now, whose fault is that? Both of them. But the man should already put a Jimmy hat on. You get what I mean?
Well, hold on now, Ronan. Hold on. Hold on, Ronan. Now, I'm glad you brought that up, bro. Because
let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
It's your responsibility to not to attempt to impregnate somebody you don't know.
That's what I was going to say.
Instead of using the heat of the moment to allow yourself to be trapped. We are the ones that think analytically. Just because all of a sudden you got shined on, you got a Woody. All of a sudden you want to go jump in the bed with and lose all train of reality of what you know is going to happen. This is not something that's just recently happened. This has been happening over 50 years. You've heard brother upon brother, nightmare story after nightmare story after nightmare story. Why the hell would you think that woman is any different than all the other ones you've already heard stories about? Because they all grew up in those same single mother homes and have been trained.
But Rona, how do these young men know when they grew up in a single home? How do they know what to even look for?
That's the other problem. you got a lot of effeminate men that are sassy.
Yeah. A lot of street dudes are feminine.
Don't know how to
Shit.
control. Do not know how to control their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean? So they have no D discipline, like a brother brought up, no dick discipline. They're emotional, and they already got that phrase in their head they learned from their mamas. You can't tell me shit. What do most badass kids say? You ain't my daddy.
Mm-hmm.
But when we grew up, we knew how to respect the circle. You get what I'm saying? We knew how to respect our uncles, older men in the community that were giving us, imparting wisdom on us. What they were raised around. Don't talk to my kid. Don't say shit to my kid. If you got a problem with my kid, you come get me. They've grown up with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's reinforcing in their own heads now as that's sensible. We know as men, you grow up with pain. There ain't no fucking comfort as growing up as a man. You got nobody to lean on but yourself. Women have people to fall back on. But as a man, it's all about how much suffering you can deal with and get right back the fuck up and do it again the next day.
These are all facts.
Well, I'll agree in part with that, but the other part we have to remember is that we, by definition, live in a matriarchy. We call it a patriarchy, but the Tender Years Doctrine, 1870s, right? Mm-hmm. When they changed who gets custody by default, because before 1870, it was, I have that kid is my property as a man. And so when you lose that as a man, that means that woman understands that you can't hit my baby. You can't tell my baby what to do. I'm going to take my baby and run off somewhere. How can the guy discipline that child if the woman is not in agreement with his discipline? What's happened probably since the late 1800s until maybe about the 1840s, 1850s, or 1950s is that most of the time there is agreement between the mom and the dad. This is your kid. This is your kid. You need to discipline this kid. But when that mom starts looking at the state and saying the state can give me stuff that this man can't, or I want to go do what I want to with other men, she can take that child because she's going to get custody by default, right? So we live in the West where custody by default goes to the woman. What happens when same way you sling your thing around and you get custody by default? You get Saudi Arabia, right? You get Africa in many places where these men have 10 wives and 50 kids because those are his kids.
But let's say this real quick, OG, and I don't mean to cut you off before we get into another topic. Let's look at childhood control. Yes, the mothers have control. But what other race professes to be in matriarchy? White people don't do it to their fathers. Mexicans don't do it to their fathers. Asians don't do it to their fathers. For some reason, it's just our community that has allowed women to continue to control based on the reinforcement when you were a child, making your mother happy. And when you get successful, the first thing you yell out is, hey, mom, I'm going to take care and buy my mom a house. But the family structure should always be the man runs the home, the house. And the house doesn't mean a physical place. It means the family. The eldest son raises the family. And this is the problem. A lot of young men grow up as son husbands to their mothers, their aunts, their great grandmas, and everybody else because they don't have that male influence around them. And that's a big problem for the Black community.
Well, I would say in response to what you're saying, brother, is I think Passportbros and SYSBM is the first step back to that. Because, look, I can go into court if it's a balanced court and I'm going against the woman and I can say, I think I deserve the kid more than this woman because X, Y, and Z reason. But if I'm going against her and the state, I can't win that. You can't win that.
And I'm glad the states are changing laws now.
No, they have to. They got to.
It's mandatory, DNA test. If the mother now claims that that person is the father and is found wrong, they're now being charged with fraud. Some of the laws are changing now because it's been amplified so many times over. So I'm glad they are paying attention to men now, but it has to be a constant push. And like I said, it doesn't matter if we use the childhood thing as an excuse. How white men, how are Asian men, how are Mexican men able to control their children, even though they might not be in the home?
Well, my response to that is compare what's going on in Asian homes and white homes today to what it was 50 years ago. They're losing control too.
Yeah, it is worse.
So it's I mean, it's all a product of a situation where if that woman wakes up and she says, I'm tired of you and I'm tired of your authority. I mean, the beginning of this conversation is authority, right? As a father, if you can't say the buck stops with me, do your doggone homework, or you're not eating supper, but your wife steps in and say, oh, you can't do that to that poor baby. That baby's hungry. Who has the real authority? She does. So how do you raise your kid when you know that she can go into that child support court, start crying, and you can't see your kid no more? This is on the women. This is on the women. Until the women give the control back to the men and say, y'all raise these doggone kids and we're going to get out of the way, then we can get back to it. But if she can start crying, she could go to child support court, she can make up a little story and have the cops come over and take you whatever and get you separated from your kid. The kids are going to get raised by the women. And this is the effect of it. This is the effect of it.
And this is probably why most of us older guys and most of the younger kids are getting their passports and finding the community and a woman that's still raised with that software. But forget that escaping the matrix. You are still jumping from one server to another. That means you still need to understand the server that you're jumping in, the rules of the game.
Of course.
Okay, so
absolutely.
That means language, understanding community, culture, and those things. You're just getting a woman built with different software. She's raised to cook, clean. She's raised to be a wife, but you still need to understand that culture, or you're still going to wind up in the same situation.
That's right.
Y'all need to be better stewards of judging women. Y'all need to know how to vet. You need to be able to look at the overall family, not just a big butt and a fucking smile.
But how do you do that when the mentorship is just not there?
That's the point.
It's
a round robin circle. And it takes conversations like this. It takes conversations like this. Like, I can swear to you, you probably had 200 and some people in the room. The minute we started talking facts like this, a whole bunch of brothers jumped out the room. You got some hard-headed ninjas that are just going to keep on bumping their head against the wall and never learn their life lesson. Hey.
But to the young guys' credit, man, I know, we all know as men, we know it's hard. You know, you see that big booty girl with them tight jeans on, tight pants on, you like, damn, that rubber. But you got to, like you said, you a man, you got to control it because it's a trap. Let me get super chat real quick. Me, myself, forever one with a 5 super chat says, Passport Bro haters like Tanya TKO made a video attacking Passport Bros using Floyd as a scapegoat. This is bad. Floyd done opened up the door for attacks. Listen, man, we knew this would happen. We knew they would tie this in order for clicks and views. But let me tell you guys something. It ain't hitting like it used to, bro. It ain't hitting. People are starting to identify and say, you know what, man, this is BS. Right. Like, that video is not gonna get. Look, she has a powerful female Black American hate audience. So you know it's going to do its views and its rounds for the most part, but it's not going to stop nothing, bro.
Right. And this is the keynote of things that you should be saying. This is an isolated incident. It's one black man out of the thousands that travel and do positive things.
Facts.
Why are you using this one isolated incident and trying to blow it up and zero and focus on one negative traveler versus all the thousands that are married, are producing, actually have business and contributing to those cultures? Why are you using this one black man to amplify your message?
One ulterior motive there.
And that's what you got to say. This is an isolated incident of one black traveler versus 1,000. You got to say it like that. Thousands that travel. Now you sound real stupid for doing it.
And this is the thing with Tanya TKO. We were emailing back and forth. We was going to do, like, she wanted to bring me on. Then all of a sudden, she just started calling me some type of weirdo and all this, and you travel for this. And I'm like, you know what? It ain't even worth my time.
She's not.
It's not even worth my time. Exactly. So it's like she already has this disdain for black men in general. So you know that's going to happen.
Well, right. But B just did show this like 2 days ago. Like, you got to remember what the biggest fear of quite a few number of people are. I mean, you can say black women, you can say white men, you can say men in other countries. He did a show talking about how African men don't want African women dating us. Because we're the guys who will wake up and cook a breakfast. We're the dude that'll rub our feet We're the dude that will do the foreplay thing that makes her feel good. We've been taught to do all that stuff. So what happens when your women have been exposed to a man that does that egalitarian stuff that most men don't do? She can't go back to a dude and say, "Hey, where's my breakfast, woman?" Like that's when a lot of people don't want us to expose to other women because we're pretty darn good mates.
But Passport OG, can you be mad at them for that? Can you be mad at the local men that's protected their lands to a certain degree, that set the culture to not want to? I'll give you a prime example real quick. I remember being in the Rosina favela. We're talking about Brazil now. And it was a guy. Now, he wasn't American. He was actually Jamaican. But, of course, he's like Jamaican-American type of guy. And he came in the favela with a girl, and she had bags shopping right outside of the favela. And the favela guys, you know, my guy was just like, they were jokingly getting on him, but they were getting on him like, man, why would you do that? Why would you go take her shopping? Meaning, you know, we can't take our girl shopping. She came in here with bags from Copacabana, dude. Why you take her shopping in the favela? You know what I'm saying? So you see how that can cause some type of disruption in the natural flow.
Well, but that's people doing their homework. You got to know the area you are and fit in. Because my experience is, if you're a person that comes in and fits into the culture, and you marry one of their women and you do right by them and you raise kids, they will accept you as almost one of their own. But if you disrupt the culture, then you got a problem.
Let me say this real quick. And this is the biggest problem I think I see in the Black women in our community. They are so used to us waiting on them. Okay. We have escaped. The brothers that normally are the fall guys, that they fall back on after they've been through the boss,
the stepdads,
the baby daddies. They're looking at you guys as the ones you're supposed to be waiting on them. Now that you've gotten the initiative and gone out and found somebody better than waiting on somebody that already comes back with not only toxicity, but a couple kids and everything else, they've lived their life. Now they want to fall back on you. This is the crew, and this is the generation where they're looking back and say, hey, we don't have any fallbacks. They're all gone. And they actually are successful now. They have applied themselves. They have money. They're doing great things overseas, and they should have been waiting on us. It's the same thing with the Black woman that gets mad at the white girl that has the athlete as a husband. She don't know that white girl came and rubbed his feet and helped him with his homework while he was going through school and everything else. All of a sudden, they see him successful and think she just stepped in. Nah, sister, she was there from the start. You want a ready-made product. You want a ready-made product instead of waiting and helping to develop a man. That's where a woman's greatest strength is. Identifying a man's strengths and helping him accentuate them.
And you know what? That's a very good point, man. I wish more brothers start to recognize the type of women that they need in their lives, because there's a lot of bullshit on the internet, Yada and all those guys that feel like you can pay for love. You can't buy love.
No,
you know, your wife might not be a 10, a 9. She might not have the fattest booty or anything. She might not that, but if she there for, because I feel like this. Who told me this? I forgot who told me this. Shout out to my man Kobe. He told me this, and it was a real thing. I had already heard this about OGs anyway, older guys. They was like, but no matter what, I don't care how much money you got, I don't care how strong you are, you need a woman that's going to be with you, whether you up or down, sick, or you know what I'm saying? You need a woman that's going to be with you. You need that woman to be there for you.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's the most important decision you will make in your life. That's the most important. As a male, I don't care how much money you have or think you have, that's the most important decision that you'll make in your life. And you can't just go by her looks or anything like that. Let me catch I got you, Ron. Let me catch super chats real quick, man. $10 super chat says, how do you vet for a woman Breaking Bad 5, 10, 20 plus years later? The best woman today can be the worst later. The best men still end up divorced and apparently alienated.
Yes.
That's a good point. I remember when the old racist, by the way, white guy from Virginia said, "Hey, you know, if you get a good 10 years out of her, she was a good wife."
That's right.
And then maybe about an hour later, he was just like, "Hey, I just want you to know before I leave you, I don't particularly trust black people." I was like, "Okay,
right."
Thanks for the advice. Get the fuck out of my car. But anyway, let me get this other super chat, man. Where is it at? Okay, I think he just where we at?
The yellow one was the last one.
Brandon Clark with the 5 super chat says, in the past few years, America set records in the new passport applications. Majority of applications are single American men. Women are better overseas. Shout to my man Brandon Clark, stocks and passport. Shout out to you. The 5 super chat by Mr. Wade Media. The fact is, many of y'all rocked with Floyd and Anton. I don't want to say many of us rocked with Floyd. Floyd was like,
don't say that, brother. You need to go look at my content.
Like awkward entertainment. Like Austin was parading him around to make himself look better. Like, look at this weirdo. Look at how corny. Look at him wearing the same shirt every day. Look at him not having a haircut. It was that type of spectacle. But let me read super chat, man. I appreciate the $5 super chat. He says, the fact is, many of y'all rock with Floyd and Anton Daniels for clicks and views. Let's be honest. Who would have dealt with Floyd in real life? That's true. Who would have dealt with a cat like that? That's true. Appreciate the super chat.
We have to remember when we're making these relationships that we were born in the center of like Hollywood, magic, love, Disney, R&B, doo-wop.
Love
I'm
Jones,
gonna love you forever.
Love and basketball.
It's supposed to be this magical hot love for 50 years. And like love, you go overseas and you can see that love is a contract. It is a social contract between families to say, you take care of my daughter, and my daughter's going to have kids for you. And y'all going to wake up some days and can't stand each other, but that's just the way it is. As opposed to this idea that you're supposed to be madly in love every day, and the day you fall madly out of love, you divorce. That's some craziness. That's recent craziness. You get a good 10, 15 years out of a woman, she has a couple of kids for you. I mean, what more can you ask of her?
Yeah, man. I remember talking to an elderly couple, it was me and my family, who was asking them, like, how did y'all stay married for 60 years? And then the old lady said, well, I hated him for the first 20 years. You see how that worked?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
She just learned to live with it.
But guess what? They got married at what? 18 and 19.
There you go. There you
like
go.
You say, it was a social construct. She said when they got married, the preacher, this was back in Birmingham, Alabama. She said the preacher took a piece of cake and told the husband to put it in her mouth. He said, hey, you're going to have to do that for the next 50, 60 years, brother. Congratulations. Meaning you got to feed her for the next 50, 60 years. I hope you're happy. So.
Yeah, but the thing about men is that men will willingly take on that responsibility if you give him a wife. You give a man a wife.
You give a man a wife, a man ready to go to war. A man ready to throw his life on it. The man has the ultimate loyalty, bro. The ultimate loyalty. A man would get up out of his bed and jump in front of a bullet for his family.
Exactly.
Right. Wars have been fought over a good woman or what they thought was a good woman.
Cleopatra.
Oh, yes, it's in the Bible. Yeah, it go back in the Bible.
So I mean, that's
don't get it twisted, guys. A woman is 100% an asset to a man. A good woman is an asset to a man.
Yeah, but also have to remember that a good woman is easily ruined and very difficult to revert her back to a good woman. Very easy to ruin a good woman.
That's a good statement. And if you highlight that super chat that was yellow from that brother that talked about that, I wanted to address that because he brings up a good point on knowledge on how to vet. Because here's the thing, and I married a woman. This is my second marriage, and my second marriage, it was a woman that came out of a family, and I knew a little bit better. I was looking for a little bit better of a woman. I found a woman that was, unfortunately, she already had a son that was 8 years old. I helped raise him till he was 20. So, I got words on being a stepdad too. But ultimately, her father and mother have been together for 60 years. So she had a shining example of what it takes to hold on to a marriage. You get what I mean? But that doesn't matter if that woman is not solid in who she is as an individual. You know what I mean? So she can look at a positive example and be rebellious the minute she breaks out of that construct and the control that maybe her family might have had on her. So yeah, it takes a lot of work, and you got to go back in and check in with her all the time because as you grow in knowledge, you change, you grow, you change some of the things you think of. You don't think she's not standing still. She's growing with access, knowledge, and everything else. If you're not constantly checking back in to make sure y'all are still going down the same way, you're absolutely right. Doesn't matter if she's a good woman today. She can turn around and be an evil woman tomorrow.
Does she know what her job description is?
Right. The thing you have to look at is also, what is her base? You build your house upon a rock. Whatever your base is and how you built it up, you need to look at where her base is. What's her family life like? What are her beliefs? Does she go against society norms? Is she an independent type of person, or is she somebody that follows the fucking crowd?
Oh, yeah, that's really important.
Look at what kind of music she listens to. Look at where her influences are. Look if, even though the society is doing something, she still fights against it and say, I don't believe that. Look if she has some semblance of faith, of morals, and ethics that you can build with her. But you always constantly have to check back in and out with a marriage, with a relationship. It ain't, oh, we locked in and it's going to stay that way. No, you got to keep on reaffirming.
And you also have to consider. Sorry, you have to also consider where you meet her. Because if you meet her at the club, that ain't the wife.
Already starting that red flag.
Yeah, and you know what? Like I said before, I've been wanting to speak on this because there's so many content creators that a lot of these younger guys are growing up with, being raised by, guys from, YouTube, your Dr. Umars, Anton Daniels and stuff like that. They grew up getting their male advice for some of these guys. And this the thing, especially for my young black men out here. I wish that we had it to where in our community, you can just pick a girl from up the block that looked like you. You know what I'm saying? That would be the ultimate, that you can just date Keisha down the block, get married, have kids, be happy forever. But unfortunately, we don't have it like that, especially in 2025. So just because she looks like you, just because she's from a similar culture as you, does not mean she has your best interests at hand. You can see Dr. Umar's personal situation. That's, rocky and got, different baby mamas and all that. You don't have that luxury, man. You're going to have to travel. You're going to have to find your best option because, like I said before, it's one of the most important decisions you ever make in your life. All right. So pick the best. Go with your best value, man. Get the best woman that's going to follow your program for the job, whether she Asian, alien, whatever, African, whatever. Make sure she's the best for that job, man.
Hey, Captain Kirk didn't have a problem laying down with all those aliens.
Exactly. Just because she looked like you, just because she's from around the corner, just because you went to school, does not mean that she's wife material. All right.
Yeah, and what a lot of these young guys don't understand is that many of these like simp type guys are being funded by other women. So they're on purpose giving you bad information because it pays them.
Yeah, of course.
And,
that's a general theme now. Just throw black men on the bus and you get paid.
Pretty much. Yep. The NASIC, the Negroes ain't ish industrial complex.
and that goes right back to Anton Daniels' word. As a man, you can't stay consistent. As a man, if you can't stay consistent on your word, that's all you got as a man is your word. And if you can't stay consistent on your message and you keep flip-flopping based on who's listening at the time, one time he'll say, brothers, go get your passport. He interviewed you, BMT. Now he's
saying, hey, I gotta do a whole show about that, man.
Bro. So he flip-flops so much. How can you trust him as a man? Or what is he doing? He's grifting for a buck. Is he giving out great information when it comes to investing? Absolutely. The brother's real good at knowing how to market himself. He'll say outlandish shit for clicks and views. But do you trust the message that he's giving if he keeps flip-flopping and he's inconsistent online?
These are facts. And, Anton, man, behind the scenes, brother, talking to that brother is so inspirational. Like, he's real positive, man. Like, after the interview, we had a little small, minute conversation because he's a busy guy. But, I feel like he really wants us to win. You know what I mean? So I don't know where that came from. I was kind of shocked when I saw it. I was like, damn, Anton, I thought we were good, man. I thought we had, had that conversation about this, online and behind the scenes. But apparently, man,
Passport Army is wild. He said Anton would definitely put the dress on, if you know that reference.
Oh man, come on. Shout out to Coach Clinician with the $5 super chat. He says, hold the line, guys. You are free and don't need permission. Shout out to the Coach Clinician, man. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate the $5 super chat, bro.
Well,
Damn, these bots is not playing tonight, man. They on us. Me, myself, forever. $5 super chat says Anton is full of it, all for money, clicks, and views, just for flip flopping. Screw him. He showed his true colors. You know what? I think Anton's doing it. I believe he's going to either get me or try to do some content. You know, he's gonna make his way back, bro. He's gonna make his way back in.
Back to what? He don't give a
positive on Passport Bros.
No. He don't give a F about nobody. Nobody impressed him. He ain't got nobody that he wants to follow. No. But yet and still, he was sitting there. Somebody cut it up. I think it was Mab.
Yeah, Mab. Shout out to MAB. Shout out to MAB. Let me see if I can find. You know what? Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can find that.
He had a night where he was boosting everybody in the Passport group. You know, but yeah, I can't believe somebody. I mean, if you guys hear me and you guys know any panels I've been on, I've been very consistent with my message. I don't care fuck who's in the room. BMT knows I'm not a passport bro. I'm a veteran, but I support all brothers to travel and get life experience and to broaden their horizons. You're smarter when you go back to the United States, and you have a greater appreciation when you do, because now you know all the advantages that our country gives us versus all the other ones. So I don't have a problem with y'all traveling. I have a problem with y'all messing up all the work we did for you to travel. That's the difference. I'm not hating. Just don't fuck up a good thing.
This is true.
You also have to remember that part of content creation is creating a persona, and when you're used to getting them, I mean, there's when you're getting those kind of YouTube checks that he's getting, some guys will say nearly anything to keep getting those checks. So it is what it is.
Yeah, man, he's definitely making some bank on YouTube, and half his audience is women too. So this is be expected. I'm trying to find this clip. Where's this damn clip at? Or screenshots. Hold on.
Man, your screen is going crazy in the chat.
What's going on in the chat?
I know it's the bots, but damn.
Yeah, man, they keep hitting me. They hit it and they come and go. Damn bots, man. Screen recorders. Where is this shit that MAB sent me?
Yeah, Anton does talk like he a Mac.
I think he did.
Anton talk like he too short sometimes. I'm like, hey, bro, you get some experiences under your belt. You learn to kind of tone some of that down, because you can't control women like he pretends like he can control women. So
you had to get on the other day about how he was talking mad s about some of the athlete. Like that brother to me looked like the brother that got picked on. He grew up in Detroit. You know, he looked like he was picked on as a kid. He wasn't really, because he's short and a little stubby. It didn't look like he was.
Come on, bro. You talk about a man like that.
No, I'm serious. He looked like he was picked on as a kid. Now he got a mic and a dream, and now he's talking about, I make $5 to $7 million a year. I'm the shit. Brother, you didn't put in no work beside with your mouth. A lot of these athletes put in time, sweat, tears, and you're going to act like you know what their experience is. You don't. Everybody has a different perspective in life. And I'm glad you got one, and I'm glad you got a mic in the mouth, and you're educating people on money and different things like that. But you don't know everything.
Oh,
and
listen,
because you have money, it don't mean that everything you say is right.
Listen to how humble men that have been with a lot of women, Deion Sanders, Paul Pierce, how humble they are when they talk about women, because they know they've been through some stuff. They don't talk like, I can tell with these hoes what to do. They do what I tell them. They don't talk like that because they know better. They've been through stuff. So that I can make a woman sit down and get up. Hey, man, in 2025, I don't think so. I don't think there's a man in America that can do that.
Yo, Bruce, I wasn't taking a stab at Short Kings, bro. I'm sorry. So, I was just making a statement about Anton. I know I hit below the belt, but it's okay.
Stop being a dummy.
All right, let me send this.
Is that the come back home one, or is that the one where he's talking about he don't look up to nobody, and he talked about how he looked up to Andre crossing borders, Zoom to Thailand, and a couple other people?
Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, I'm about to pull it. I'm about to send it now. Hold on. Where is this shit at? This one. Okay. Yeah, Anton, something else, man.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody learns from their failures. He was a business operator. I think he owned a restaurant at one point and failed. You know, you got to fail a couple times before you become successful. You know, the one thing Anton is his work ethics, his consistency, and all those things got him to where he was. Aside for once he had the money, he knew what to do with it. Real estate investments, you know, markets, all that. That's great.
Yeah. And he's an older gentleman too. You know, he's in his early 40s, you know, so right. You know, you move a little bit better back. You know, you move
well,
a little bit better with finances at that age.
He also hasn't had a woman turn on him neither. Because if his woman today turns on him tomorrow, then he's going to get a whole new reality because all of his resources are going to get split in half, right?
Yeah, so, there sure wasn't a prenup with her because he married her as a child. He didn't know shit about no prenup.
So that's a big asterisk that the woman that you had from the beginning has been loyal from the beginning, because that is certainly an outlier. You got to get my 5.
All right, here we go, family. Here we go.
You got to get my passport. Come home. Come home. Stop being a dummy. I have never seen a passport bro that I was like, that nigga is sweet as fuck. I want to be like him.
Y'all know I'm cool with O'Shea Duke Jackson. I think his name is Passport to Thailand or Travel to Thailand or something like that.
I believe it means Zoom to Thailand.
Yeah.
Well, let stream catch up a little bit.
Forgot what the name is. It's a couple people that I'm really cool with.
Somebody said, who were you talking about? I don't know these niggas' names. You cannot name me one nigga that is just great. And I was like, I could take something from him.
How do the majority of these guys make their money?
Majority of guys are running to are going to be IT guys and ex-military.
These are not, you know, the dusty dudes. These are actually guys that have a lot going for them. What would you say to that?
I've met more guys with resources overseas than back in the States.
Fuck these niggas.
He said that with his old chest too, didn't he?
Come on, man. Fuck these niggas. That was for the ladies. That was for the ladies. He did that shit for the ladies. He's doing that for clout. He just got 1 million subs too. Most of them probably women, man.
Shit.
Hey, you know what's crazy, bro? I might be. This is the crazy part. I might be watching just a random podcast, and it just goes left into the Passport Bros. I just be like, damn, we just was in your, sitting in your head for somebody to mention Passport Bros on something that doesn't have nothing to do with us. On a hip hop podcast or something, Joe Button or some shit like that. Matt Hoffa, you just like, what do we do? Wait a minute, we in Colombia, we in Thailand, chilling without what we do. God damn, they be triggered by us. Man, black men ain't supposed to have no fun, man. We ain't supposed to have nothing outside of hip hop, gangsterism. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be shooting each other in the block right now. That's what's cool in America.
You're supposed to be waiting for those fine baby mamas after they're out of shape with 5 kids to come take care of them. You their fucking parachute. That's what you are.
Yeah, bro. This is crazy, man. This is insane. Antoine Matt, he's stuck here for at least balloon marriage. Okay. Yeah, we be minding our business, man. We be minding our. I have no idea why this term is just so triggering, bro. We was minding our business. Yeah, man. But guys, we've been at it for a little minute, man. I just want to tap in with the family. I know it's Christmas Eve. You guys got to get up and open them Christmas presents for your ladies. All right.
Right.
It's been a good one, man. I want to appreciate everybody coming on the show. If you guys want to say something, so any last statements before we get on up out of here, you're welcome to.
I mean, my biggest thing is these are isolated incidents. I don't think you guys need to necessarily own it, but you need to dispel it. You need to dispel the fact that the behavior was incorrect, and if the brother broke a law, he needs to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, keep it pushing. But yeah, y'all got to do a lot better job, man. On how you carry.
Who is y'all though, Ronan? Like who are you?
I say it in general because it's not necessarily people in this room. People are going to replay this. That's why I didn't say nobody's name. I didn't say Passport Bros. I'm just saying y'all just got to do a better job.
Yeah, but like I said, who is it's one person that did some fuck shit. Like who is y'all? What are the other people?
No. I get that. Like
Floyd.
I said, that's one isolated incident. But you can't say brothers aren't, and I'm not saying brothers. I'm saying people that travel.
But do they call themselves Passport Bros too?
I don't know. A lot of people are adopting that term, and they're white. I mean, I thought a brother was a black man, but I mean, now everybody wants that name.
That's true. But we do make the culture.
It's internet terminology now.
Yeah, it is.
It's basically a single man that travels overseas from a Western country that's looking for a relationship, for a traditional wife. That's the definition technically of a passport, bro.
And who wrote that definition?
The internet wrote it. Did nobody necessarily write it? It's the internet that wrote this shit.
Exactly. But yet and still, even though that definition's in there, what did the Brazilian media call the people that established the Passport Bros? Criminals?
Yeah, they said it was a criminal order. I mean, he's a feminist, bro.
Let me
tell you something about Brazil. I love Brazil, but they like to hop on bandwagons. These women are just it's like a little feminist that say, hey, and media does this. It's not just feminists, but media does this. Let me tie this in to something bigger so it can have more reach. So we can make something the villain. Similar to what happened with the West Coast, East Coast war. It was two rappers feuding, and all of a sudden they had to say, oh, it's the West Coast versus the East Coast in order to make it just something larger than what it really is, man. So that's to be expected, unfortunately. Right. But the term's not going nowhere. I mean, they've watered down the term so much. When you do that, when you frame that everybody is a passport, bro, you take away from it. You take away from the power of it to a certain degree, because you're saying that people that call themselves, that has literally on video said they're not Passport Bros. When you still call them Passport Bros, you've totally taken away from your talking points.
BMP, you want to know the conspiracy?
What's that?
They're gentrifying the name. They're waiting for it to get real, real bad and make all the brothers jump out of it so the white boys can take it for cheap. Don't tell nobody. It's on the low.
All right, Ronan. All right, man. Passport OG, you got anything to say, brother? In closing,
I say one thing first. Like he was talking about the feminist right and the best. I mean, the feminist tactic is name shaming, right? Call someone bad, say they're a bad person, and then get people to act against that person on their behalf. That's one thing. Another thing is, what's that line from the Captain Phillips movie? Look at me. I'm the captain now. Hey, brothers. You are in control of your life. You do your life for you. You make the best decision for you, and let all the other pieces fall where they may. If you go somewhere, you doing right by them, they're gonna take you in and say, "Hey, you're good. This is a girl that we think you should marry, and she gonna have some kids for you, and you're gonna find a place to settle down somewhere, or even take her back to the States." So all of this noise about people that don't care about you at the end, it's just noise. Tanya TKO does not care about us.
These is facts. Good point. Well, guys, been another great show. We up out of here, man. Peace.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.